Welcome to Crocodile MTG, your home of competitive, constructed play in the modern, standard, and legacy formats. Today's video was brought to you by all our wonderful sponsors, affiliates, and patrons. Thank you so much for supporting the Crocodile MTG channel, and we hope you enjoy today's video. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jordan with Crocodile MTG, here bringing you another Magic the Gathering video. Today we're diving right into Modern Horizons. We're going to do a sealed league today. We're going to enter the league now. Once you enter, the cards will be locked while you're in this event. I want to go ahead and join. And jumping right into it. I guess let's start by sorting by rarity. Let's see what kind of rares we got. We have these snow-covered lands, which are very good, and they are needed in this event. So it's very important to note what colors and how many snow-covered lands you have. So we did get a dual land, which is pretty good. If we're in those colors, we have Cabal Therapist, we have Plague Engineer. Plague Engineer is a pretty decent card. We're going to move that off to the side. Alright, we have Sasay, Weatherlight Captain. Gets +1/+1 for each color among legendary permanents you control. And then you can pay Wooburg and search your library for a legendary permanent with converted mana cost equal to or less than Sasay's power. Then you just get to put it right on the battlefield. So that's a pretty powerful card. Vladimir's Call is also a very good card. So I don't see anything that stands out as absolutely necessarily playable in our rares, which is kind of unfortunate. As the set, it is very dependent on bombs. So let's just take a gander through our uncommons then. We have Decoy here, which is tap target creature, activate this ability only if a creature entered the battlefield this turn. So this can tap down some blockers if we need to. Shards is pretty good. Alright, Web Weaver Channeling. It has channeling, which means it's a shapeshifter and a creature of every type. Channeling doesn't mean shapeshifter, just most shapeshifters have channeling. As reach, whenever it enters the battlefield, if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, you gain 5 life. So that's a pretty good late game card. We have Throat Seeker, which unblocked attacking ninjas you control have lifelink. So that's a ninja card. We have this Talisman here, which the Talisman may end up seeing play anyhow, simply for the fact that it's mana ramp, and a lot of people are going to be running those. We have Splicer Skills, which you can splice onto an instant or sorcery. It creates a 3/3 Golem token. So that's pretty neat, and actually a pretty powerful card. Shatter Assumption, target opponent reveals their hand and discards all colorless cards. Target opponent reveals their hand and discards all multicolored cards. So this isn't very good, in my opinion, in this particular format. There are good multicolored cards, but as you can see in our draft, we don't really have any multicolored cards for the most part. So that's a card that is powerful, maybe in constructed against a certain deck, but for the most part, not powerful enough here. Sadistic Obsession, enchant creature. Enchanted creature has black tap, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. So that's a pretty good card for removal. I'm going to move it over here. I don't think we're going to end up playing it. I don't think we have a lot of really powerful black cards, but we'll see. Lesser Massacre. When it enters the battle, as an additional cost to cast the spell, discard a card. It's a 2/2, and then you can pay 4 and deal 1 damage to target creature. So that's a pretty decent card. It also has Persist, so it can get in the way of some annoying blockers. This Icehide Golem is a 2/2 for a snow. So if we end up playing this, only a snowland can play it. Same with this Arkham's Astrobule. So this is basically Prismatic Sphere, Prismatic Omen. There's a similar card that has the exact same text on it, except it's instead of a snow artifact, it's a normal artifact and costs 2. This might actually not be playable either. I'm going to leave it here, but it may not be playable because of our lack of snow. So we have Grave Shifter here. It has channeling, and when it enters the battlefield, you can put a creature card from your graveyard and put that into your hand. So it's kind of ironic and funny that the art on this card is actually very similar to Gravedigger, and that is the ability of Gravedigger. So this is simply the channeling version of that. I'm going to move that over here. Alright, Frostwalk Bastion. It's a snowland, and you can pay 1 and a snow, and it becomes a 2/3 construct artifact until end of turn. It's still a land. And whenever it deals combat damage to a creature, tap that creature, and that creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. So I'm going to move that down here for now. We haven't figured out what colors we're going to be playing yet. However, if we are in a color that is going to run some of these snow lands, I think that is a pretty powerful card in and of itself. Alright, Farmstead Gleaner. When it doesn't untap during your untap step, but you can pay 2 and untap it. That's what the symbol at the bottom here, that's the untap symbol, and you can put a 1/1 counter on it. So this is actually it comes down as a 2/2 for 3, which is mediocre, but then being able to untap once you attack, or if you convoke something, or if you find a way to tap this, you can pay 2 and untap it, and it becomes a 3/3. Next turn, you untap it, it becomes a 4/4, and so on, etc. Face of Divinity. It's an enchantment aura. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2, and as long as another aura is attached to it, it has first strike and lifelink. So that's a pretty decent card. Dismantling Blow. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. If this spell is kicked, draw 2 cards. That's a decent card. I feel like our white cards are pretty powerful. I don't know if we're going to be using Sisei. So Blizzard Strix is a flash 2-mana flyer. I'm sorry, 5-mana flyer. It's a 3/2, and when it enters the battlefield, if you control another snow permanent, you may exile target permanent other than Blizzard Strix, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next untap step. So you can do this to your own permanent, you can do this to your opponent's permanent. I'm going to move it over. It's a decent card. I'm not sure how much play, if we're going to play it or not. So Birthing Bots is a 3-mana artifact, and you can pay 4 to create a 2/2 colorless shapeshifter with changeling. So that's a good card. That is going to go in our deck probably no matter what we're playing. We have a Barrenmoor here, which is a cycling land. If we're in black, we're going to play that. Right now, our white and black seem to be a pretty decent card combination. I guess I can move the Ninja over here too if we find some Ninja synergies. I don't think any of these cards that we've gone through so far, I don't think we're going to be playing those. Alright, so we have some Ninjas here. When it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. It has Ninjutsu 2. It's 1 in a black, and then so this is a pretty powerful card. It's a 3/3 for 2 mana essentially. Oop, cancel. I'm gonna move that over here with these the Throat Seer. So that's a pretty decent group right there. I'm gonna move this here. I'm gonna move this here, move these here. Plague Engineer is decent as well. So far our black's decent. This Changeling's not bad either. I feel like we're kind of lacking on black cards so far. So I don't think we're going to end up in red, if we're being honest here. I guess I shouldn't say that just yet. I don't think we're going to play Cabal Therapist, but we can see. Alright, so next card on our list. Dragonheart, sack another creature until end of turn. It becomes a dragon with base power 4 as flying and haste. It's a 3 mana. We have a changeling, which all changelings, by the way, are also ninjas, so this card's actually gonna get better with that. It can't block and it can't be blocked, so it's a 1/1, which is pretty decent. Let me just split these real quick. I just wanna... Alright, so Mob, Convoke, destroy target creature. So we're probably gonna end up playing that card. I think we're gonna end up going black-white, if we're being honest. Slivers you control off first strike. Has suspend 5. When it enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn. When it enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 shapeshifter. So that's a decent card. The Lance Sliver, I don't know if we're going to use. So if we're going the ninja route, ninjas are also blue based. Sorry for the disorganization here, everyone. I'm just kind of trying to go through cards. Deals damage to a player, create a 1/1 blue illusion with flying. So that's pretty good. I don't think we're going to play Lance. I guess I can put it over here. We might play Decoy, though. Alright, Elemental. It costs 2 less if there's a land in your graveyard. When it enters the battlefield, you may have it deal 2 damage to target creature. So that's a 4 mana, 4/3. So that's actually a pretty decent card, if we're being honest. Alright, we have a Hellbent Flyer. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, if you have no cards in hand, that player discards a card. So that's not a bad card either. Goat Snap's pretty good here. Gain control of target creature. Untap it. It gains haste. If it's a goat, it gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Now you might be thinking, why goats? Well, all your changelings your opponents control or you control are goat creatures. So that's actually a pretty decent card. We have Fountain of Ichor, which you can tap it for 1 mana of any color, and it becomes a 3/3 dinosaur if you pay 3. So that's actually a pretty decent card as well. Diabolic Edict is a sack removal spell. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead here. Target creature gets -1/-1 for each swamp you control. So these are both going to be good removal spells. Flame of Fist. Draw a card until end of turn. Target creature gains +1/+0 and trample for each card drawn. We have Nimble Mongooses. I don't think we're playing green. We have another Ninjutsu card. Tap up to 4 target creatures as cycling, and whenever it's cycled, you may also tap a creature. Slivers get +2/+0. So we have Outlast. So other slivers you control have Outlast as well, and you can pay 2 and tap it and put a 1/1 counter on this creature. So that's actually not a bad card as a standalone. Kite, it gets +2/+0 if you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn. I don't think that's a card we're going to want. Alright, you gain 3 life. I do kind of want to note our green cards, because our green cards are actually decent. We have a 1/1 for 1 changeling, which isn't terrible. We have a couple unearths here, which is return target creature with converting mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So that's actually going to be a really decent card. Until end of turn, creatures get +2/+0 and have all creature types. So I'm noticing a lot of aggression here in red. So maybe even though white black looks good to me right now, maybe we should just be drafting a different deck. Exile, scout from your graveyard, search your library for a card, name this, put it into your hand. I don't think that's one we're going to want. We have a Death Toucher here. Create a 3/3 elephant token, and then it has rebound. It's not bad. I don't think we're going to play Iwig anywhere. Windcaller's Aven is a 6 mana, 4/3 flyer, and if you cycle it, target creature gains flying until end of turn. So that's not a bad card. It gives early evasion if you need it, or you can just play a 4/3 flyer late game. So that's not bad. Until end of turn, up to 2 target creatures each have base power and toughness of 3/3, gain flying, and become illusions in addition to their other types. So that's like a boost effect. We have Pondering Mage, which is a 3/4, which isn't bad. Pyrophobia is a sorcery for 2. It's 1 in a red, and you can deal 3 damage to target creature, and cowards can't block this turn. So shapeshifters essentially can't block this turn. Untap another target snow permanent. I don't think we're going to really play that one. Whenever it attacks, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It has dash, so that's not a bad card. We have 2 of those. Treefolk Umbra, enchanted creature assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. It's also totem armor. Maybe I should just be going red-green or playing blue and splashing something. Alright, String of Disappearance is actually a good card. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Then that creature or controller may pay blue, and if they do, does copy it. We have Stirring Address here. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Has Overload for 6, so all creatures you control get +2/+2. We have Shenanigans here. I don't think that's going to see play. Enchanted creature has +1/+1 and has flying. When a ninja enters the battlefield under your control, you may return Smoke Shroud from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to that creature. So this is actually pretty decent. We might end up being blue-black and then splashing a couple of these good white cards. Enchanted creature has +1/+1 and vigilance. Whenever a creature dies, manifest the top card of your library. So that's another good aura. We kind of have this like blue-white aura, and then black is kind of a backup color. As long as you've drawn 2 or more cards, it has double strike. Spore Frog, self-explanatory. A lot of people know that. If you don't, sack it, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. This Druid, when it enters the battlefield, you may sack a land. If you do, search your library for up to 2 land cards and put them on the battlefield tapped. Not something we're interested in. And we have another Stirrings. So I really think green, even though we have a couple decent green cards, I don't think green is where we want to be, unfortunately. Alright, so I'm going to take green out of here. Green in our pool is kind of more of a splash color, more than anything. If we're not playing green, I don't think we want to be playing a lot of our red either. The issue with our red is we don't have a lot of creatures, so it's not really good as a backup. So I'm going to actually toss those. So now we're looking at blue-black ninjas, and we're looking at like a black-white kind of aggressive deck. I don't know. Let me kind of sort through here. So we kind of have this ninja theme going. Alright, I'm going to put these down here. And we can probably play Frostwalk Bastallion since we have 4 snowlands. This talisman's not bad. We probably won't play both the fountains. I'm just going to bring those in here for now. So I'm going to put ninjas in one pile. I'm going to put removal in another pile. I really think we're going to end up going blue, black, and we might just end up cutting the white. The white, even though most of them were decent, yeah, I just don't think it's as good here. Alright, so ninja, ninja, ninja. So these are removal spells so far. Plague Crafter is going to see play. We have Cabal Therapist, which I'm half and half on this at the moment. I don't know how good it's going to be, simply because I don't know how much we're going to actually want to be sacking. This is a ninja here. What is going on with this card? That's interesting. So, I wonder if that'll stay like that and go to my collection like that. That'd be a cool card to have. It's Unearth, which is return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. So that's probably going to make the cut because that's a decent card. We have Diabolic Edict here. We have Headless Spectre here, which is the Hellbent, and whenever it deals damage, you discard a card. We also have this, which acts as a ninja. So, I don't think we're going to play Astrobe, if we're being honest. I'm going to put that over here at the moment. We definitely don't play Sasay. So we have 4 snowlands. So Strix isn't terrible. Pondering Mage isn't... The thing with these is their 5 mana is just kind of clunky. This can help boost our creatures. So I'm going to actually make a 3rd column here. Hold on a second. Alright, so I'm going to make this column here for... These are ninjas. Alright, so we have 9 ninjas. That's a pretty decent amount of ninjas. I think we're going to go the ninja route. So, what here... Wing Shards is a good card. These changelings aren't bad. The boost isn't bad. Nothing here stands out as like 100% necessary, but it's still not a bad group of items. So I guess let me cut. So these we definitely want. Let me finish up here. Fountain of Ichor's in this pile. I don't know about that. We definitely want this. It pairs with our ninjas. And then if we're running white, we want that. Let me bring in up to here first. Yeah, so we're at 32. We want to get down to... I guess these are all lands. So we would need to cut 2 cards. Sort converted mana cost. Ninjutsu is decent. Oh, Cabal Therapist, Ninjutsu, something. I guess we are playing Cabal Therapist. We probably do want that. Alright, so I don't think I want any of these. Found of Ichor. It becomes a dinosaur artifact until end of turn, which I think's medium ability. I don't think we're going to want that. These are our lands. We're going to want to cut 2 more cards from our deck here. I don't think we're going to want this Obsession. I could see playing Strix, so I'm going to add it in here. I could see playing Pondering Mage too, just because the 3/4 seems huge. The only issue is it's not a ninja. And it doesn't have like evasion or anything. Alright, so we have a decent start to the deck. I want to cut 3 of the 4 cards. So let's kind of go through our sorting a little bit again. Return target creature to their hand. Defile. Kills something. These act as... This kills something. Some mana boost, which I don't mind having. This is a ninja. Plague Engineer. That's a utility. The only issue with Plague Engineer is when you choose a creature type. Oh, it's creatures of the chosen type your opponents control, so that's even better actually. Become blue illusions in addition to the other type. So I'm gonna play this, but I'm kind of medium on it. I guess I'm medium on this bird too. If you're just cycling it to give something flying, I don't think that's worth it. It's decent in the form of evasion. I guess I should look at it like a spell that kind of says, you know, draw a card, give a creature flying, which wouldn't be bad. That'd be almost limited playable. Turn something from your graveyard. When it enters the battlefield, something gets indestructible. When it deals damage. Alright, cycle. You may tap a creature. So that's a removal spell. Or at least a favorable attack. I guess we don't want the Spectre. I could live without. Alright, so all these are our ninjas. Or ninja-ish things. That's just a utility spell. I messed that up somewhere. Ninja, 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 ninja. Alright. So this pumps out ninja for 4 mana. So it's kind of a mana sink. This is also a ninja. I mean, maybe we do cut this, and I could see not playing one of these removal spells like Diabolic Edict, but at the same time I just feel like removal is a super powerful thing to have. Maybe we just don't want the talisman. Like on turn 2, we're gonna want to ninjutsu something if possible. I guess if we don't have it, then we want the talisman. Ninja, that's a 6/3. Mob. Choking Teethers. There's a lot of synergies in this deck. I guess String of Disappearance also is a pretty good synergy with Cabal Therapist, because you can return something to your opponent's hand and then discard a creature if you want, and then, or sack a creature if you want, and then if you do, you can just get that creature out of your opponent's hand. trying to think of the one card I don't want to play. And it doesn't just stand out to me, which is a little... Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. This can be used as kind of a removal spell or a blink effect, so it's kind of utility. This is decent because it gives up the 2 creatures. It's at instant speed also, so if you have like playing against a Flyers deck, maybe it's just cutting the Talisman. Let me see our mana here. I mean, our curve is pretty low, but when you start getting up there, I guess it's just cut the Talisman. So I'm going to play 16 lands. I'm going to cut 3 of these. I'm going to bring in the Baron and this 2 snow, and then I'm going to cut 2 here. I guess my question is, why are they Origins lands? Yeah, alright, I won't ask questions. So I want to play this Bastillion too. Maybe I just cut a swamp for that. Yeah, I think this is okay. Alright, so this is the deck we're going to end up running. I'm going to update our deck list, and then I will see you all in the next video linked at the end here. And we're going to get into game number 1. So stay tuned, and hopefully our Blue-Black Ninjas deck will do pretty well. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Please go hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed today's video. For your custom playmats, mousepads, and more, head over to Inked Gaming. Use promo code crocodilemtg10 to receive 10% off your order. Today's video was brought to you by all our wonderful sponsors, affiliates, and patrons.